in strange domains where all was living sense. But mastering thought was not, nor cause, nor rule. Mastering thought is not the appearance of mind. That is what is struggling now. The next step is only a crude child heart cried for toys of bliss. What a child! Well, see, only a crude child. Well, the child is crying for toys for bliss. It's not really so crude, I would say. There is some kind of a happiness, some kind of a joy, some kind of pleasure in it. There is some sort of a psychic element in that cry for a toy. The cry of a child has a certain psychic affection in it, crying for a child. But here, this is a very crude child, see, child heart. See. Only a crude child heart cried for toys of bliss. Mind flickered. So that is the mind has happened because of that now. See, he is now tracing it was formless mind. Mind was not getting received. Now he is tracing the course of evolution. Mind flickered, a disordered infant glow. Obviously flickered, just comes and goes away, vanishes like that. Mind flickered, a disordered infant glow, and random shapeless energies drove towards form. The formlessness is getting form, but they are now changing, are not constant, you see, and took each wisp fire for a guiding sun. So that is the pity of this little mind, or this early mind which has taken a form, a sort of a form just now. That form, that mind is what? Like a wisp fire. You have got a hay, dry grass lying there, and you light a fire. That fire lasts only for a short second and then it disappears. Wisp fire, dry grass, you light a fire, it disappears in no time. So it is that kind of a fire which is present here. And this mind, this early mind, takes, oh, this is the guiding sun, you see. It is not that, you see. And took each wisp fire for a guiding sun, that wisp fire. So he is going through the early stages of mind. There is a little fire, you light a little bit of hay, and then there is smoke coming there, and it disappears for no time. But in the meanwhile, he thinks, oh, what a great fire. This blindfold force could place no thinking step. This blindfold force, this mind is a blindfold, could place no thinking step. Obviously, it cannot take steps by thought, by consideration, by deliberation, it cannot do that. Asking for light, she followed darkness's glow. So she is asking for light, but then she is going by the hints the darkness is giving to her, you see. And inconscient power, again that life power, she has given that form of mind, you see, groped towards consciousness. So he is now from the unconscious state. The advance has been made with the appearance of this little mind, although it is seeing only the wisp fire, the fire of a dry grass, only seeing for a short time, but then it is moving, groping towards consciousness. Matter smitten by matter, glimmered to sense. Matter smitten by matter, glimmered to sense. Yeah, it has happened now. Matter is now glimmering to some kind of, the appearance of mind means the presence of sense. Manasa. We have got five senses, but the real sense behind these five senses is manasa, mind. Mind is the real sense. So that manasa appeared here. That sense stands for manasa in that sense. Matter smitten by matter. It's really true. You strike a stone with a stone and you get a spark. You get a spark. You strike a stone with a stone and you get a spark, you see. Smitten by matter. Matter smitten by matter. Glimmered to sense. So that spark is there. And then you can catch a fire. If you put a little bit of dry cotton there and strike a stone, it becomes a flame, you see. You see. That is what in our villages, there were no matchsticks, there were no lighters, of course, were not there and all that thing. And if you want to smoke bidi or whatever it is, they will take a flint and strike like that, and then put a cotton there, and the flame will come, and then they will light the match, they will light the lamp or whatever it is, you see. That is what the ancients did, you see. Matter smitten by matter, In fact, that is really true. Matter smitten by matter. After all, what is atom bomb? It is matter smitten by matter. And there is a blaze, there is a glimmer, brighter than 1,000 suns, as Oppenheimer says, at the appearance of the first atomic bomb. Mind, matter smitten by matter, fission, smitten, fission, you see, fission bomb, you see. Blind contacts, slow reactions, beat out sparks. Well, that is the process of minds now growing. And of instinct from a cloaked subliminal bed. Sensations, crowded, dumb substitutes of thought. Mean you have got only vital mental instincts here now. Substitutes, they are not real pure thought. Pure mind has not yet appeared, but the vital mind has appeared. You see, perception answered nature's waking blows, but still was a mechanical response. Obviously, it was a mechanical response, a jerk, a leap, a start in nature's stream. Sensations crowded, dumb substitutes of thought. Well, that is what the sensation. See, you think that it is a thought, but it is not really a thought, really. It is a sensation. Means life instinct is behaving like a thought. How the animals, they don't have the mind proper, they got the vital mind. So that is a substitute for pure mind, for thought. Perception answered nature's waking thought, but still was a mechanical response, a jerk, a leap, a start in nature's dream. And rude, unchastened impulses jostling ran, rude, unchastened impulses jostling pan. Life instincts, the vital mind, basically vital mind, ran, heedless of every emotion but their own. They are concerned only about their own thing, about other things they are not concerned at all. And darkling clashed with darker than themselves, and darkling clashed with darker than themselves. I will call this also a headless line. And darkling clashed with darker than themselves. This is also a good headless line. And darkling, I am talking, clash with dark critic than critic themselves, I am. This is also a good example. So we have ordered 2 examples or 3 examples of headless line in this particular part, you see. And darkling, dark. Now this word darkling appears 4 times in Savitri. 4 times. It's a very beautiful word, darkling. No? 4 times in Savitri. Very beautiful word. I like this word.
Like darling, you mean?
Pardon me?
Like darling?
No, well, darkling means dark, obscure, threatening, menacing. Darkling means threatening, menacing, both. All these things are there. Now, the 4 occurrences of darkling are 39.10. That is what we are saying, the first occurrence. Then is 61.12. 61.12. If you want to see, you can see that. 61.12. And darkling else with evil eyes for lamps. And darkling else with evil eyes for lamps. So evil eyes are the lamps in the darkling, in the obscure, menacing darkness. You understand? Darkling. Then the third one is 103.36. And I'll say that's the most beautiful darkling. 103.37. Sorry, 103.36. 103.36. I caught for some eternal eye the sudden kingfisher flashing into a darkling pool. What a line, what a description, what a powerful line. This is the most lovely occurrence of darkling. Very poetic also, is it not so amongst all these things? But before we see that, let us dismiss the last one. 117.63. In the subconscious darkling corridors. In the subconscious darkling corridors. Darkling, that is a straightforward meaning. Darkling corridors. Now, this one, I caught for some eternal eye the sudden kingfisher flashing to a darkling pool, becoming dark, you see, darkling. A very poetic line. Now, this is pertaining to Satyavan making advances towards Savitri in the book of love. And he's describing what I had done, what has done, all kinds of things. He says, I suddenly caught the kingfisher flashing into a darkling pool, taking a sudden dip into the pool, catching a fish like that, you see. In that way, I caught all these things, you see. I caught for sudden eye, eternal eye, the sudden kingfisher. Yeah, really, the kingfisher comes suddenly like that and picks up and goes away like that. And it makes a shout of 7 octaves. Ooh, 7 octaves. The shout of the kingfisher really goes into 7 sounds, like that. 7 octaves. The whole octave is there in its sound, you see. Now, this line, as I said, I caught for some eternal eye the sudden kingfisher. It is enchantment. The line is flowing, overflowing from one to the other, as we have seen earlier. Sudden kingfisher. You see, the line ends with sudden, but it flows on to the next. Sudden kingfisher, flashing to a darkling pool. Well, very poetically beautiful line. But here, that way, this is not really all right. And darkling clash with darker than themselves, darker than obscure. Here, the sense is only obscure. But the only nice thing about this line is it is a headless line. It makes a very good headless line. And darkling clash with darker than themselves, freed in a world of settled anarchy. Settled anarchy. Very curious phrase, settled anarchy. You can't change anarchy, you see. Anarchy itself will not allow things to stay as they are. It's a kind of an oxymoron also. It is like saying perishing death. Oxymoron, in that sense, perishing death. Free in a world of settled anarchy. The need to exist, the instinct to survive, engrow the tense, precarious moments will, and an unseen desire felt out for food. The need to exist, well, that is what it means now. The whole idea of the pool, darkling class, darker themselves, he is chasing now the entire course of the appearance of mind, the vital mind, you see. The need to exist, because life is constantly getting swallowed. You see, it is settled anarchy, you see. Settled anarchy, well, a fish eating, it is struggle for existence in a forest. Struggle for existence. The survival of the fittest. That is the law of the animal world. Survival of the fittest. That is the struggle, that is the anarchy, that will settle anarchy, you see. The survival of the fittest, you see. The need to exist, well, the survival of the fittest itself is a need to exist. The instinct to survive engross the tense, precarious moments will, and an unseeing desire felt out for food. The gust of nature was the only law. Well, whatever, because it is an anarchy. Therefore, force wrestled with force. That is the survival of the fittest. Force wrestled with force. That is survival of the fittest, you see. The Darwinian law, wrestle with force. Force wrestle with force. Life wrestled with life to survive. But no result remains. only were achieved in nascent grasp and drive. Only a little thing was gained, and feelings and instincts, knowing not their soul, sense pleasures and sense pangs, soon lost, and a brute motion of unthinking life. Well, that is the common human life at a lower vital level, you see, generally, you see.